guys, welcome to week 5. Hopefully last week was pretty great. I so far have really enjoyed reading your bad summaries. They are really funny and great way of pointing out what not to do in a summary. At this point in time, I have not read your actual summaries yet because I'm making this video a little bit early before grading and whatnot. So don't worry. As far as your papers, if you're wondering about grades, in general, I wait one whole week after papers are due before I start grading, just so that in case, because that's when the late work policy is, that you have 1 week to turn something in late and get 80% of the points. So I just kind of wait until that threshold. So if you're wondering about your papers that have been due for a week or whatever, I start grading about a week, so you can expect to get them back either a week and a half after they're due or about 2 weeks, but before 2 weeks is my goal. So don't fret if you're still waiting on grades. But I'm sure you did great on that. So for this week, we're going to spend a little bit more time with some of the writing assignments that we've already done. So the biggest thing happening this week is that we are going to be revising and style switching our summaries. So you do actually have 2 writing assignments due at the end of the week, but but they're both short, so I don't think that you should feel too stressed out about them. And one of them is revision, right? So it shouldn't be an absorbent amount more work than the other weeks. So you have revised summary right here, and I'll go over the guidelines in a second. We do have 3 readings. They're all pretty short. They're all about dialect. They're all really great readings, so I think that you guys will enjoy them and hopefully get some new perspective about grammar and the English language and whatever academic language. And then you'll be responding to those readings in your discussion forum. And then we'll have another peer review discussion, which will be very similar to last week. So it's just going to be peer review. For the bigger papers, we'll do a peer review workshop on Moodle. But since the summary is so short, I think it's just a lot easier to do a discussion forum because it's a little bit faster. And it gives you more flexibility for when to submit things and when to review. In the Moodle workshop, there's like you can't start getting feedback until I open it up. And so anyways, I think the discussion forum will be easier for the shorter assignments, but you can let me know if you're liking that or not. It is my first time trying it. So anyways, so you're going to have your revised summary due Sunday. So this is all due on Thursday, right? Thursday evening at 11:59 p.m. By that point in time, you will have you will have finished all those readings. You will have responded in the discussion forum about the readings, and you will have posted into your peer review group. By Sunday evening, you will have responded to your peers in the forums, both giving feedback and talking about the readings. And then you will have also submitted your revised summary and your writing reflection. You're doing one more writing reflection. So I will make it a point to make sure that you get these back before your next one is due. Just in case you're really off base, I'll give you some feedback. But for the most part, I really don't want writing reflections to be stressful for you. I really want them to be a time to just reflect on your writing and where you're at with it and just be honest and kind of just be able to express how you're feeling about the assignments and growing or not growing as a writer, or what your struggles are in writing, and how one assignment feels as opposed to another assignment is kind of the goal of the writing reflections. They should be, in the correct form, as just like a school paper form with the MLA format, but don't worry a lot about the presentation of them. I don't want you to spend so long trying to figure out how to put citations into your paper when we haven't talked about that in class yet. I really just want to hear about how the readings are impacting your writing and how the assignments are impacting your writing. So, yeah. So don't worry too much. Let's go ahead and look at the guidelines. I'm going to drag myself off the screen for just a moment. Okay, so we have here your revised summary guidelines. What we're looking at is this is going to be the same document. I want both of these summaries written on the same Word document. So when you submit it in again, I should see both. I want to be able to see the first summary and the revised summary, okay? All in one Word document, not two separate ones. I want to be able to compare what changes you made and what your revision looked like. So you should have at least 2 pages in total, a page for each summary. You don't need to put your name and stuff on the top of the second page because that'll be on the first page. But, same font, double spaced, all of that jazz. No citations are required, but the biggest change that we're making here is we are going to switch it to an academic tone. So you're going to take everything that you wrote in your super relaxed colloquial tone and you're going to make it sound like a school summary. It's still going to be about the same thing. So your key points, your main center should all be the same. Your main point and your subpoints, all of that shouldn't change, but the way you're relaying the information should change pretty dramatically. It should read pretty differently. If it doesn't have a lot of change, then that's something you should work out in your peer review forums and help each other with. Help each other figure out how to make rhetorical changes to that document. You are doing this peer review. Once again, it's the exact same as last week, and there's instructions here, so don't worry. The grading criteria is pretty similar, right? So what I want to see, what makes a good summary in this is a couple things. It's that you understand what a summary does and you're doing it. You are giving me the main points and you're not derailing. You're summarizing effectively for your audience. And then what makes this assignment done well is that I see a pretty intense style shift that's really evident to me as a reader. That is what I'm looking for. All the other late work policies and so on are the same, so don't, there's no surprises there, but feel free to review them. And then let's take this away and come back here. So now your writing reflection, remember I also want that to be the same document. So if you did a Google Doc before or if you did a Word document, you're keeping that on the same page. But what I want is, and what I'll do probably is post an example for you guys just so that, just to give a little bit more clarity. But basically what I want is, writing reflection 1 and the date maybe, writing reflection 2, and this is all in one document, okay? And like I said, I don't want the writing reflection to be a huge ordeal of stress, okay? So all in all, you have, I think it's either 4 or 5 writing reflections for the semester. The last one will be a little bit longer, and your grade is a totality of all of those, okay? And I want you to think of the writing reflection like a different genre of writing. I want you to think of it as sort of like an internal processing writing, like almost like journaling, but just a little bit more formal because you're submitting it to me. Okay, so it doesn't need to feel like an essay. It needs to feel like you working through the readings and what you're learning. And if you really want to do well in that, I want you to be bringing in readings, but I don't want you too stressed about like using this many quotes or this many readings or whatever. Just whatever readings stand out to you. So if there's something this week that really makes a difference and you think about that while you're writing or while you're revising, that's what I want to hear about in your writing reflection. Or if one of the readings from the very first semester stood out to you, then I want to hear about that in your writing reflection. If it's something that's really impacted you, the procrastination reading or whatever you're thinking about, while you're writing. I want it to be related to writing, so not just whatever you're thinking about, but hopefully that makes sense, okay? So that is week 5 in a nutshell. I will post an example writing reflection document just so you guys have an understanding kind of what I want that looking like. And other than that, please email me or post in the Talk to Professor forum if you have any questions. I would love to hear from you. If you want a little feedback because it feels a little confusing to you or weird, I know this assignment is a little bit different than maybe other assignments you've done in writing classes. So if you just want to talk about that and make sure that you're on the right path, If you're feeling a little anxious, just let me know. I'm more than happy to meet with you, email with you, or talk to you and help you, okay? So have a great week, guys. I hope you enjoy these assignments as much as you possibly can.